Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Fancy Sip Review. And today on the Fancy Sip Review, I'm going to be trying a drink by the Long Island Supplement and Energy Drink Company, G Fuel. The flavor that I'm going to be reviewing today is going to be the Dream Demon, a Nightmare on Elm Street inspired drink. And with a Freddy Krueger inspired energy drink, you're hoping that you won't be running from a dream invading serial killer with knives on his gloves chasing you, trying to kill you, but you are hoping that you're going to be running through your to do list. However, at only 140 milligrams of caffeine in this drink, this is going to be no hypnosil. And before I drink this, I do want to talk about a recent G Fuel social media post they made. What they kind of did was implied in a way that they were going out of business, which wasn't the case of what was going to be happening. What they're doing is they're changing their formula to try making their drinks a little bit less chalky tasting, as a lot of people say these drinks kind of taste powdery. And I am hoping that G Fuel doesn't have a new nightmare where they realize that the Funko Pop bubble burst and people aren't really collecting energy drinks like they thought they would be with all of these branded character drinks. And I am excited to try this drink. I'm a big fan of Freddy Krueger and I love horror movies. I see every new one that comes out. So let's see what's in this drink with the game-changing energy. So the nutrition facts in this are you're getting 0 calories, there's no fat, 65 milligrams of sodium at 3% of your daily amount, 0 carbohydrates, 0 sugar, and no protein. You're getting 200 milligrams of potassium at 4%, niacin 4 milligrams at 25%, vitamin B12 25%, vitamin C 45 milligrams at 50%, B6 25%, and zinc 20%. So you're not getting too many vitamins in this drink. The ingredients in this are carbonated water, natural flavor, sodium gluconate, citric acid, potassium beta hydrobutyric, vitamin and amino acid blend of vitamin B, sorbate, ascorbate, L-theanine, L-tyrosine, zinc glutamate, niacin, B6, B12, potassium sorbate, malic acid, caffeine, potassium citrate, asulfame potassium, sucralose is your sweetener, green coffee bean extract, and green tea extracts, probably where you're getting your caffeine from. And it's got turmeric extract in it, tart cherry and blueberry, broccoli and kale. So you are getting some vegetables and some fruits. This drink has game-changing energy, 140 milligrams. I don't consider that game-changing. Focus, endurance, immunity, and mood. Usually what they do is they tell you what the bonuses are in these infographics. They're just telling you it makes you more energized. And with a Freddy Krueger drink, you would expect more energy. 300 milligrams is usually what they have in these drinks, but this one only has 140. So let's show off the can real quick. So it has Elm Street on the front, and it has Freddy's gloves slashing through the G Fuel logo. I don't think that this is the coolest design. I think they could have done a lot better with this, but it does show the glove, and it does show Elm Street, I guess. Here is the infographic if you're interested in looking at that. And usually it tells you the vitamins and stuff, but there's not too many vitamins in this drink. And here's the nutrition facts on this drink. So that is everything with the G Fuel Dream Demon. Let's open this drink up and let's see how this drink is. First thing to make note of with this drink is G Fuel does not use any artificial colors or anything. Every G Fuel is going to be a clear beverage, which is cool. Usually what you'll see though with these drinks is you'll see a bit of green coming from the coffee beans, which isn't really showing up too much in this drink. I don't really know how to pose this can. Usually there's some sort of infograph that you can use, but Not so much here. So, also the sun is in the way, so let's move this over here a little bit. And there we go. That looks good enough. All right, so with all of that out of the way, moving the can was probably the most difficult part of this review. Again, the drink is a clear beverage. There is a little bit of color, not too much. It is a clear drink, and on the legs, you're not getting too much carbonation. There is some carbonation coming up, but this is not going to be, hopefully, a very carbonated beverage. Although, as I say that, the more I spin it, you're getting a bit more legs and a bit more carbonation to this drink. And yeah, let's see how this is on the nose of this drink. This is supposed to be a tart fruit punch drink, so let's see how it is. I'm smelling a lot of the fruit punch smell, just your typical berries, your cherry and whatever's in fruit punch, strawberry maybe. It does smell like a very fruity drink, and that's coming from the artificial flavoring, as there's not too much vegetables or juice in this drink, as it says on the can. But let's see how this is on the mouth feel of the review. Is this going to taste a lot like sucralose, or is the artificial sweetener going to blend well with the artificial flavor? It is chalky. I can see why a lot of the criticism and why G Fuel went out of their way to talk about reformulating the drink to be less chalky. I will say that this is a fruit punch tasting beverage, but the chalkiness is 100% there. And honestly, what I think about this drink, although I've never had it, is I remember back in like the late 2000s, everybody used to put their design on an energy drink. You would see like Super Mario or King of the Hill or Family Guy, and they would just put a wrap around of like a generic energy drink, call it like One Up Energy or something like that. That's what I would assume that a cheap energy drink would taste like. I am getting a bit of that from this taste. It is very chalky, but it does have a nice fruity flavor to it. Give this one more sip. One thing that I'll say about this drink is, even though it doesn't have much sugar in it, you are getting a lot of a sweet taste to this drink coming from the sucralose. And I'm wondering, has Freddy seen how the American health insurance industry is, and decided, instead of killing people with a knife and going through all of that work, killing them in their dreams, he just decided, to give young people cavities that would turn into a root canal that they can't get worked on, leading to heart disease, killing people like the guy in Saw 6. And yeah, I mean, this doesn't really have the punch of what you would hope for with a fruit punch drink. And this tastes more as if Freddy Krueger replaced his knife gloves with pixie sticks instead of knives. It is a sweet drink. It is a very powdery drink, but it's all right. I don't think that it doesn't have what you want. It doesn't have the juicy taste, but it does have the sweet taste. This tastes kind of like if a teacher were to reward a class for doing well by bringing in candy, and they don't give the teachers any money, so they go out of their pocket to pay for the stuff. You're getting a really cheap version of a candy drink. I can also see why this was at the Dollar Tree for $1.25. Um, yeah, I don't know. It tastes more like chalk than it does taste like a drink or a juice, which what I assume is that, as this is a supplement, what they probably did was just put 2 scoops in and then just sold it in can form. But as a drink, I don't think that it's the best. I don't think that it's the worst. The Dream Demon is probably a better flavored drink than if you were to buy, again, one of those like FYE or Newberry comic energy drinks where they just put a wrap on and then call it One Up Energy. And this is obviously aiming to be more of a collectible for people that like horror movies, but if I'm reviewing this based on taste, it is very chalky. The taste of the fruit punch is not the best. This is supposed to be a tart fruit punch, as I believe they have 2 fruit punch flavors as a horror series, but it's not very tart. It's just chalky. But it doesn't taste bad. I mean, I'm a person who likes Pixie Sticks, and I'm a person who likes Smarties. Usually when people don't know how to say what a energy drink tastes like, they say that it tastes like Smarties. This is the first time where it doesn't taste like Smarties, but it has the consistency of Smarties. So what will I give this drink? Realistically, I used to give everything good scores, and I would probably give this a 6. But in terms of what it tastes like, this just tastes like artificial sweetener with a very chalky taste. And at only 140 milligrams of caffeine, it's 10 less than an Amped Energy, and it's 20 less than a Monster, and it's 160 less than a traditional G Fuel. I don't think that this is the best drink. I think that I would give this a 4 out of 10, and it's pretty low for me, as I usually give everything good reviews, but I think G Fuel could have done better with the Dream Demon. The can itself kind of gave me the hint that this was not going to be the most high effort drink, but I am shocked at how the social media post about how their drinks taste like chalk was so accurate. And that's everything I have to say about the Dream Demon. Thank you so much for watching this video. Had to make sure it was called Dream Demon. Thank you so much for watching this video. I've been the Fancy Sipper, and cheers. Clink.